What's going on, guys? This is Grim Reaper bringing you shit, dog. You know, forget monetization. I don't. This is
Just do it for the art.
I'm doing it for the art, bro. Fuck it, bro. Like, once again, the God has returned with all his glory, and oh my God. Once again, mark your calendars, mark your lifetimes. This is another instance, another event in the One Punch Man logos. I'm here with the realest niggas on the block. Talk about 127. I guess there was a little confusion too with the numbering. Zhoniin mentioned last podcast that it may be a second part of 126 or an extended part of 126. If it is, that's another godly long chapter in the volume release. What do you guys feel about 127, man?
So the series is so good right now, especially if you're just following the manga, because this is all like manga only stuff. And the thing is that it's so good right now, but it's like not even reached its peak yet. So the future is super bright for the manga right now because, like, given that Orochi, like you guys know, preached a million times that he's only in the manga, so we don't know what's going on with him. And him coming back was just something that we kind of theorized about, but it's the fact that it's happened has made it that much better, like the story overall. So this was like the best chapter in a string of best chapters that we've had in like a while.
Cool. So I was super on the side of Orochi wasn't coming back. I didn't believe it. Like, because when you get hit by Saitama, that's it normally.
That's it.
So yeah, well, like no one's legit come back from it. So I will talk about it when we get to Orochi, of course. But no, it was a good chapter. Yeah, the Dragon Ball clash between Tats and Psychos was great. Yeah, all these characters coming together. King being King was King. Yeah, no, really good chapter though, definitely.
Is that a new adjective you just coined?
I mean, I'm not gonna say no, but I mean, if you want to give me credit, you can do. But if not, you can steal it. It's your podcast.
I'm gonna say, like, on this cover page, bro, these titties are king. Like, shit. Shit's all king-like and shit. Like, ooh, look at that. Like, just the upward curve, and then, oh my gosh. And the little pendulum that she has, like, right above her cleavage, that shit's king. Like, we're like, oh.
I made a joke in my live reaction that it's like Psychos's boobs are so powerful, essentially, that they're breaking through the border on the on the cover page.
She has to like continuously use her Esper abilities to keep them afloat slightly to take like the stress off her
heft.
back carrying those things.
Yeah, she'd have major back problems.
That's probably what, like, that green stuff is. That's like all the force she's exerting just for her titties. That's got to be it.
Another mystery solved by the One Punch Man podcast crew.
I'm gonna
done it again, guys.
I'll ask one about
it. Basically, my thoughts were good action, good progression of the story, funny bits with King, because we basically called that was going to happen on the podcast like months ago. That he was going to encounter Tario at some point, possibly, and then bam.
You definitely did say that.
So
props to you. I mean, I knew it was going to happen because this is something that's actually happened. Him encountering Tario, and I wanted to tell you, like, wow, you guessed it right, Kishin. But
it just seemed like it would be in his wheelhouse of events.
You should have made a video about it.
Well, yeah. I didn't know.
Here's another thing, Kishin, and don't worry, you're never going to figure it out. But you've also correctly predicted something else that hasn't happened yet.
Oh shit! God damn! Am I getting one's brain just filtered into my own.
This
a
nigga
little
said
bit.
he's eating one's brain. Shut the fuck up.
Well, no, I'm just wondering if it's somehow like, is he psychic and like giving me hints, and then I just run away with it, and then he's over there in Japan like laughing. He got it.
I mean, that's the only rational explanation, so probably.
Well, then.
Stop lying
But
to
yeah.
us. We know you're using those fucking satellites.
I was gonna say, did Shod Empire have a satellite? Was that the thing he got right?
But anyway, a theory that I actually kind of got right, and I had it almost beat for beat, is the resurrection of Orochi, is that he would start overtaking monsters to rebuild a new body. I did that 6 months ago. So go check it out.
Luckily enough, or oddly enough, Satsuki isn't here for the podcast. And I've seen several members in the Discord and on the my live reaction comment section mentioning that like there's gonna be some crucifixions on the premiere date. Apparently, some of us are on trial for the denial of Orochi. I know like some of us has touched on it already, but like looking at it narratively, right? Was there like doubt? Was there real doubt? Like, cause the way I'm thinking about it is, this man's a fucking demon. He plays with everything. He'll make you think that it's gonna go a certain way because that's how it always is, and then it'll stop short. It'll be the fucking deep sea shit. Prime example. Like, oh, show up to bust his ass. He did it in one punch. Like, so he does it again. More catastrophic than Goketsu. And then he flips it. Was there real evidence for us to predict this? Like, did Kishin like really have like story evidence to say this, or like was it just wishful thinking? What do you guys feel like? Was there actual evidence for the return of Orochi?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both what you said. Wishful thinking and evidence, somewhere in between that, because the way that he dies is really conspicuous, and I think it's meant to be that way so that you question it. Like, is he dead? Is he not dead? Because he was falling and talking.
Yeah.
So the air of doubt was like planted right there. It wasn't just like a standard monster death. Like Deep Sea King didn't talk after he got punched.
And also, we never, like, his body parts just kind of fall down a hole where you don't get to see them anymore. That's not normally the case either. So you don't know what was going on with them afterwards.
Well, I mean, technically you do, because Garou goes to check on him and it just sees like his skull plate just chilling there.
No, but I meant like you don't get to see it like in a typical
Oh, well, when
Saitama.
it premiered, yeah, you didn't.
So that was also maybe another hint that there was going to be more to it.
And also, maybe it's just the fact that one knows that people probably wanted to see Orochi go against somebody else besides Saitama.
Oh, definitely.
So he wanted to kill two birds with one stone with him.
There's definitely a lot of like, there's a lot of plot lines that could divulge from like just his return right now, and like especially with like something that will just at the end of the chapter, unification. So many things are gonna like spiral that I want to touch on, or so many possibilities.
I mean, I'm difficult about this one because like I said, I was super on the side, like, nah, he's gone. So I was just looking at stuff that kind of said he was dead more than anything. So with like what you guys said, kind of like, because he, like you said, obviously Deep Sea King, after the punch, he was gone. We didn't get anything. But after like the Boros fight, once Saitama threw his last punch, Boros was still conscious barely. So I was very much like, okay, so it's a similar thing because they're a similar level. But I mean, I don't really know what to say. I'm not against Orochi being alive. My main thing is, what's it going to do for the story? Because we know now, like, the last thing that Orochi fought was like, so this is fear. So it's like our first monster who's generally fought Saitama and has survived. What's it going to do for the story now we have one of these? And we have someone who, like, Orochi isn't necessarily the same big bad he was before. He's now this character who has something he's scared of. He's scared of Saitama and he knows about Saitama.
you're a fucking like genius. That's one of the things I wrote down to talk about, and we'll get into it later on, or maybe like in a few minutes since we're talking about Orochi. But like specifically, this is the predecessor of Garou, an individual who, in terms of psychos, Garou, she's trying to utilize the same growth tactic, and we know it's effective because of Orochi's pinnacle. Is this another boost? Like, is this not that technically?
Yeah, I mean, that's as close as death you're going to get and be able to come back from it. So
When
it's
your
very
heart has a
possible that he
face.
has.
I still find that weird that that's his heart. Just has his face on.
Yeah, it's normal.
Nothing's normal. Orochi.
I mean, Kishin, have you actually seen your heart before?
Yeah.
Like, really? Maybe it's just your face.
I'm not Madara from Naruto, who has like the. Or no, wait, was that more on his shoulder?
Hang on, My Hero Academia. There we go. We got that in there. We got that in the podcast.
Fucking trash.
I mean, potential. That's kind of like talking about like what this Orochi Psychos thing is going to turn into. I mean, don't like the rate he took over, like and spread for the Monster Association's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not definitely like a Zenkai boost is possible. Well, like it's likely because, as you guys said, that's about as near as death as you're going to get. But I'm not certain because currently Orochi's still not at the level that he was when he fought Saitama. Like, obviously, he's still just recovering. He's doing whatever he can to recover. So it's mostly going to be about whatever this new form's going to turn into. But I guess over time it could. But like, he got hit by Saitama. It's not something that's easy to recover from.
And if
Technically, given like the physical materials that he's working with, these are probably tigers and wolf level things, maybe the occasional what demon maybe that he's going to absorb in this like kind of weird webbing kind of deal he's going on, which is very disgusting. Those materials are way weaker than what he was originally. So unless he can just like super boost all of that while he's like rebuilding a body, I don't know what his power level is going to be. But presumably he probably would get a Zenkai boost, as you say. So, but I don't know if that's actually going to really come into as much play given the end of this chapter. Because we might just get a full-on fusion. Yet again, more Dragon Ball Z references there. So, oh, that's going to be crazy. Who's going to win that ego clash?
Well, it depends on if Orochi is still subservient to her. But the way that he was reacting, it seemed like he was going to try to like eat her. Like instead of just helping her, like the way that he was reacting to Tatsumaki and Psychos, like he was going to absorb her. But so it's like still up for question if, he's still obedient. But I assume that Psychos, if it did came down to that, would probably win because, it's like mental Esper.
Could be. Depends on how much of an actual mind he really has at this point. Or ever did since he became a monster.
I mean, he's somewhat
more
intelligent.
instinctual. I mean, I guess.
Like when he talked to Saitama, that was the most cohesive he's ever sounded. And he sounded
but
just like
definitely not on like regular human level of intelligence anymore.
I mean, maybe not, but he still was the guy who figured out like Saitama is like this anomaly who was like he figured out, right, this is the guy who beat Goketsu. This is any kind of anomaly we face. It's because of this guy.
it seems like he has like the level of intelligence of Muscular from My Hero Academia.
Hey, thank you. There we go. Grimm, your opinions on Muscular and Orochi. Who'd win and get him in his chest.
Another disturbing looking person because, good lord, that body structure on him. Like, I guess that's probably what your muscles look like if you didn't have skin. If they were super inflated. But that was disgusting.
So the next thing I want to address is the manner in which Orochi's like gathering blood or like That's what it seems that he said. He says he needs more blood, and he said this about 2 or 3 times. Now, his tongue-like substance type shit that his dragons are made of, or his skin is made of, I guess that's why he could like mold those dragons out of like nowhere, or whenever he fought Garou or whatever. That seems to be like taking like just whatever. So, is he gaining the abilities of what he absorbs, and like, can he absorb stronger beings? Like, he was obviously approaching King and shit. So like, well, what are you guys taking from Orochi absorbing everything like this? Especially with the conversation that him and Psychos were having in the end about like merging. But don't hop on that yet. Just like, what do you think about his like absorbing shit?
Very feasible. I mean, he copies abilities when he sees them. So him actually straight up absorbing something, it's going to be Vacuuma all over again. Except on a way bigger scale. Maybe that's actually what that fight was supposed to hint at us. It was like, you like this? You're going to get bigger next time.
So, Psychos. She's pretty cute.
Okay, continue.
Less cute with the head veins, but still pretty damn hot.
Language Kishin, but okay.
Yeah, control yourself.
She was looking pretty badass. Struggling against Tatsumaki. That was kind of like weird. Like when I was first reading, I didn't really get what was going on, but I guess like they were pulling on each other. Is that how they met?
Yeah, it was kind of a psychic tug of war.
Yeah.
But they
Like she
literally
grabbed Tatsumaki to like meet her like 3/4 of the way.
I don't know why, but like I just don't see her being able to do that. That's what surprised me. Like later on in the chapter 2, whenever like she got hurt, I still hold Tatsumaki to such a high regard that like seeing her be pulled down like this, like how strong is Psychos?
Well, she took that elixir, so she's more powerful than Garou.
I mean, she's strong enough to at least put up some form of a fight against Tatsumaki, which is something, because we've never seen Tatsumaki actually try against someone. So I think that's at least a feat in its regard.
I thought it was kind of scary that she actually had head veins on herself. Like, that's never happened. It's very scary. It was. Like, do you expect that kind of a character to look like she's straining at all?
Yep.
100%.
She's strange sometimes.
I love it when she strains. That
Sex.
That.
Yeah, why did I know there was an undertone there that you were starting to cultivate?
I just like to make it clear for the people who don't get it, like me.
No, there was a panel, the one where like she first gets clamped by Tatsumaki, and like it's a whole like I don't want to say widespread, it's a single panel just of her, and like, bruh, she's a woman, and those are things.
Yeah, she has an absurd physique.
Her being like at this level of power like lets us see more of Tatsumaki's fighting style. Like she made like a fist 2 or 3 times in the chapter, and like once again, it wasn't like direct context, so it was kind of difficult sometimes to get exactly what was going on. But did she like punch Garou in the throat or something?
No, I don't think so.
I think
That
it was
would be
when she made, like,
amazing,
the
but-
galactic donut around her, because it's like right after she does the fist, the next page is the energy ring.
Galactic Donut. What's that from?
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon
Yeah,
Ball.
those Gotenks, I think.
Yeah, Super Goten.
Oh.
Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, actually.
Yeah, that pretty much is Galactic Donut.
Oh, that'd just be the. I'm sorry, that would be the only way this fight would be better. Is after shooting those giant eyelays and Tatsumaki just punches Psychos in the front. That'd just be incredible.
That's
Shut
what it
up.
looked like though.
Bam!
Cause like right there, right above her, like her tits and shit. Like that's where the white explosion thingy is, and it really looks like that, man. It really looks like she's got like punched in the throat with psychic force. She look right for real, like she even got that, took that fucking bang stance, put her fist back, and bam, right there. Unless she like, what is she choking her?
Give me a page so
I guess
can...
she's choking her.
I was going to
like a
say
Vader?
it could be interpreted as her just clenching her right hand, and then that forms the galactic donut around her neck. Or she punches her psychically. I don't know. It's up for interpretation.
It's one of the two. I can see either way, but like that's some like Darth Vader shit. If it is, I fuck with it. Makes sense.
What I will say about it, I think just in general, looking at like the fist kind of thing, generally when she does like her attacks or she moves things, she generally just uses her finger a lot of the time, as if like she's moving stuff around. But I'm guessing with the fist, she's always having to use more force. So like instead of just like, like come here with a finger, she's like grabbing it with her hand and just like tugging it against her, which is why she's having to use, which makes sense why she's using more like fist movements.
Yeah, she did that earlier too. As you guys were pointing out, whenever like she's like pulled her up, tremendous amount of force and shit, and then like the galactic donut around her midsection and shit. So for sure, like it definitely could be, and it makes sense from previous narration in the chapter that is a galactic donut around her throat or neck or whatever. But let's say that she punched her in the throat. Let's go with that.
Please, everyone, this is what we're gonna do now. If they ever get to this point and they ever make this in the anime, we're just gonna take a bit of creative licensing and we're just gonna have a puncher in the throat. That's the one thing.
One punch
Exactly
woman.
like that.
And he's that same sound too. Send it to him.
Exactly. It's like, look, we're gonna call back to an old one when Grimm was doing the flashy slash noises. We need that for when they were going on with the flashy kicks. I need that classic one. That's going in there, and we're getting that exact noise. What you don't know is they're going to hire us to do the ADR for season 3 of One Punch Man. We've got Zhoniin's Child Emperor. We've got this. We've got the flashy. I need to do something. I'll voice Showerhead, of course. That's perfect for me. and then we'll take it from there. We'll find roles for Satsuki, and we'll find roles for Sundown.
Oh, Showerhead about to be that nigga, bro. Showerhead Sama.
Man, I can't imagine when this would even be in the anime. Like 2029.
At the rate it goes, yeah. Because when was season 1?
2015.
Bro, have you guys like, did that shit happen with Game of Thrones? Like, did like petitions and like the viewer base like protesting and making noise, did that affect any decisions, or has it ever affected decisions ever?
I don't think it did, because they definitely didn't give them what the fans wanted.
I mean, the Sonic film guys, like, no one liked the design, so they redid it, and everyone really likes it.
But
Actually,
I mean, like,
I think that was an ad campaign trick. Like what we saw in that first trailer was actually a lie from the get-go.
You're giving them way too much credit.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of like live remakes of stuff, Kishin. I don't think that's a trick.
Well, you know how like things in trailers are never how they are. So I feel like they might have played off that real heavily. And then it was like, oh, bait and switch. Look, we're giving you what you wanted. It's what we were going to give you all along, you fools. But you came to the movie anyway.
Should make a video about that.
No,
but I mean, like, if we, because for example, it's a whole business venture, right? So like, let's say that we were to start a GoFundMe, right, or Patreon, and like, if we were to get enough people to actually like pay for that.
But Grimm,
yeah,
you already have a Patreon.
Nah, fuck out of here.
We'll bring back the callbacks with Mrs. Satsuki's Sundown. We need as many robots as we can get. Phoenix Man's the best.
No, but like, cause signatures and the petitions and shit, that's dumb bullshit. That doesn't do anything. It's a private company. But like, if we propose, I could fucking contact them and shit, be like, hey, like, we have these funds here. If you're like, we'll be able to donate them to you if you promise to follow these certain guidelines, editorial wise, in certain degrees. We're not telling you what to do, sir. None of that, sir. But
You
like,
also have to sign this contract so you don't just take the money and run.
Wait, have you ever explicitly said what you're paying them for?
that's illegal. I mean,
Oh, God. I thought it was for the throat punch.
we would have to
I was just
specify
saying,
that.
it's gonna be a decade later, we're just going to see the throat punch, and for a frame, it's just going to be Grimm's face on Tatsumaki, and we're like, that's it. We know.
Like
Oh, this is all of this fundraising is for the throat punching scene?
no, what the fuck?
No, but I thought that's what it was.
Yeah,
But
y'all
want to start a
tripping.
GoFundMe for us, please, and we can just get the throat punch.
Yo,
done.
y'all niggas high as fuck, bro.
We could do like a Kickstarter video. Oh my god.
I was thinking about starting one for like petitioning Murata to illustrate the virtual genocide simulation. But then I was like, how the hell would that even work? And like, how would we get him the money? Why would he care? How much money would make him care? What's the legality of it? What loopholes do we have to go through? And then I was like, fuck it.
I mean, to be honest with you, bro, dead ass. To be honest with you, bro, like, all you have to do is fucking like try. Like, there would be no reason, or we wouldn't be hurt by like just looking for research and information, like who we would contact, finding names, finding emails and shit like that. Get a response after a month or two, get a number to call or whatever. Show them that we're actually serious by like actually growing in funds. Send them verification of that. Let them know we're serious and shit. And then, but the logistics are the problem. Like, who do you actually contact? Where do you go to search up that kind of information?
Exactly. I mean, you could probably find it, but you'd have to dig deep. And then I don't know. If I was going to go through all that trouble, I would make it something more worth it for everyone. And I would ask Murata to make like a hentai or something. He said that he would never do the One Punch Man characters, but I would just be like, base it off Fubuki and Tatsumaki and Psychos and whoever else.
Just change their faces.
Yeah, just change their face, change their hair color or whatever. No, don't change their faces. That's the most important thing besides their body. Maybe change their hair or
Then
something.
you know
Change
who
the
they
name.
are.
Bufuki.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
But see,
God.
that
Parody
would,
of the parody, huh?
I think that would require less loopholes and other people, getting involved, since it would just be I guess us paying him as like an independent contractor or something. But I think people would probably like that more than the VGS.
Damn, that's true. Because if it's one or affiliated with the One Punch, then it's licensed, and then you got to pay the actual company or whoever's like working with Murata and One to actually distribute.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not paying fucking shit, bro. Fuck Shueisha and them bitch ass niggas, bro. Hell nah. They ain't
Give it
getting
to
no
the
fucking
creators, huh?
GoFundMe shit.
Yeah, I'd be more happy if Murata just got all the money.
Damn, but yeah, like you said, it probably can't be a One Punch. That's fucking crazy, bro.
That's why we call it Two Punch.
But he did say that he would be interested in drawing hentai. So it's not just like something we'd be springing on him and he's like, I would never do that. You're all degenerates.
Then he turns around and it's like, you bring the check, I bring the product.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, if only it was that easy.
We'd never get a chapter for like 2 years.
I don't know, but all right, so let's get back to Psycho. So one last thing before we talk about her character overall. She's a fucking snitch. Like a fucking fucking snitch, bro. Like what type of like quick giving up info like
Dude, she's trying to eliminate the human race pretty much. She doesn't really have a lot of morals.
like stay with her, bro. Like what the fuck, bro? Like so let me ask y'all straight up. With everything that's we've seen so far, what is your strength, like, opinion of Psychos, and like just overall, like, is she are you guys happy she's in the story? Like, what else could she do? Like, shit like that. What are you guys thinking about Psychos?
Well, hey, after she basically did an optic blast, she can do just about anything she wants. Like, what
Optic
the hell?
blast. Optic blast.
Well, that's actually what you call like Cyclops from X-Men.
No, I know. That's what he says in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
I don't know
Optic
why he would
blast.
say it. It was weird. But like the fact that she can do that kind of stuff, I can just imagine what this fight is going to devolve into, especially after she presumably, merges with Orochi. What is that going to be like? Monster Empress, Orochi, Psychos, whatever. Name still in development.
No. Hop on. Yeah. That's next. That's next. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that Psychos is in the story. I think she strengthens it. It's nice that it's not just like everyone versus the monsters. It's really just like a human who is pulling the strings from the monsters. And she's super attractive. That's always a bonus. And she has the Esper powers. We haven't really seen anyone to really her extent outside of Tatsumaki and Fubuki, and then a little bit from Jigan. So I like her. We just need to go more into her and get a better understanding of like who she is.
Yeah, no, she's definitely got a great design. But also like there's that history, like there's the hint, like when Tatsumaki says, "Oh, you're Fubuki's friend, aren't you?" Like there's more of the backstory, and especially because we don't know much about like the sisters, like Fubuki and Tatsumaki. It'd be good to know more about it. This is a good way to like look into them and like have a reason to know about their past as well. Yeah, I mean, it opens up about how crazy psychic powers are because it's not just moving rocks; it's shooting energy, which is great. Yeah, I like her because she's a villain still. So she's like, I'm cocky until she's cornered, and then the moment she's cornered, it's like, oh, this is who we've got. Bye. Like, don't hurt me. I think that's good.
Someone help!
Yeah, exactly. It's good stuff. I like her.
Have we ever gotten a disaster level panel for Garou?
Garou?
Yeah.
No. But we have gotten dialogue, which is kind of like one. I guess it was one's way of telling you that Garou is on dragon level without having to put a box next to him.
I agree 100%, but like the reason I'm mentioning is because Psycho's got a disaster level panel, and she's a human, I guess. So like, my question is, what does that really mean? Like, is it just for like fucking monsters? Like, I thought we didn't get one for Garou because we were waiting for him to actually become a monster. But if she's getting one like regardless, then well, why haven't we gotten one for Garou then?
Do you think it could be to do with how, like, Psychos is genuinely like she's out there, she wants to kill people, she wants to take over the world, she wants it to be her own, so she is a genuine threat to humanity. Whereas Garou, who we know hasn't actually killed anyone, he's shown this relationship with Tario. We know Garou's not bad. We know he's not like he's an anti-hero. He's not bad, but he's not good either. But because he still like hasn't actually hurt anyone, he's still not like that threat to humanity yet. So maybe don't cast him as a monster.
So him saying, you people, the Monster Association, the Air Association, you all die today. That's not evil?
I mean, it's not great. I'm not gonna be honest with you.
I mean,
but-
he straight up has a disaster designation from the Hero Association.
Yeah. It was low at the time.
No, they made him a dragon.
What?
Oh, they did?
They said that when Garou reappears, we're going to give him disaster level dragon.
I don't remember that.
Sitch says that in chapter 85.
I'll look into that then.
Yeah, I don't remember that shit, but I remember them like I remember a reference to Garou in that because that's like right after the whole the EC incident. I think the hero that was right before the Sitch briefed the heroes, right, about like Bang and Bomb like possibly being traitors.
No, this is before that. This is after they fight Elder Centipede.
Yep, you're right. I found it. Well,
Yeah,
he
it's on
says
the
he would
second
like to classify Garou no longer as a human, but and the next time he appears, we should issue a warning for disaster level dragon. So, yep.
Damn, so Sitch must have seen what he did to Death Gatling and be like, damn, no, yeah, he a dragon now.
I've never seen a Gatling gun cram so far up someone's ass before. It scares me.
It's the inside one for the Discord niggas. Niggas trying to tell me he wasn't a dragon when he deflected those bullets. Fuck out of here. How do you fight the AB-8? Deflect bullets, fight off Genos, and then fight off Bang and Bomb. Go home, bro. That's a dragon.
Make a video about it.
That's your catchphrase now, isn't it?
We just need the laugh track whenever that happens. We just need like, and then it turns into applause, and then everyone just starts going, ha ha ha, and then it claps, then we get the credits. Grim put up the credits.
These people are fucking gay, bro. They limited ads on my reaction, bro. What the hell?
Maybe
Because you're saying the N word and the F word every 2 minutes.
Oh, yo, bro. It's a lot less than 2 minutes.
Oh, God.
Look, man, if I actually censored this shit,
There you
you
go.
get money.
I'll try it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the end of that sentence. Yeah, if I censored myself, I'd get money.
He's like, he sacrificed himself for his art, though, guys. Come on.
Look, bro, this is
is
America,
passion.
bro. It's free speech, bro. I shouldn't be fucking listening to these fucking, like, these fucking...
I give you my heart. Now give me
I
them
mean,
Benjamins.
that's technically not true for me, but you know.
Man, so, bro, like, come over here, man. Like, fuck it, bro. Like, you can't let these fucking, like, these crybaby, like, fucking whatevers tell you that you can't say faggot because that's bad. Like, nigga, I don't hate gay people. I just like saying faggot. Like, you can't tell me what to not say, bro. Like,
Yeah, it's a bundle of sticks.
I'm gonna try. Graham, you might want to cut that one out. But you shouldn't say
No,
that.
not only should you not cut it out, but you should make a video about that.
Hey, get the ball cat video out at the very end. Just end it with that, and then there you
free
go.
speech, baby.
I swear it's going to eventually get to where Yuzo, that's every other line. It's just, you should make a video about that.
Dude,
That's
you
all
guys
you'll
just
ever
keep-
say.
You guys
We'll
keep
get-
having these awesome ideas. I'm gonna keep throwing it out there.
I mean, I can't wait for the Zhoniin soundboard app to come out, and then we can just, when you can't be here, we can just put it on, make a video. Can't talk about
Dude,
it
that
yet.
would
It's
be
not. It's a
hilarious.
webcomic spoiler. There's a few of them.
Orochi only exists in the manga.
It stands for dick tits.
Yeah.
All right. So let's hit on a few more topics. So people been waiting for this, so let's hop on it. Psychos and Orochi. Towards the end of the chapter, Orochi made it apparent that by absorbing blood and taking blood, or bodies or whatever, that he gets stronger, gets back to his original form. That's what we're presuming, and I believe we're presuming correctly. Now he's coming after, or he sensed Psychos and Tatsumaki fighting together. I don't think that I have doubts of loyalty because of, like, the panel sequence. Like, it wasn't that, like, Giro called Orochi. It's like Orochi found them while he was looking for blood. It was like, I'm looking for blood. Oh, shit. Strong presences. And he came up there. And now he's coming, like, as Giro was flying downward, fast as fuck. Orochi's flying upward, fast as fuck. So let's entertain this in two viewpoints. One viewpoint where Orochi and Psychos are gonna suit up, and then one where Orochi may betray Psychos. So let's start with the preferable one, right? The one that probably people believe is more credible. Is this gonna be, like Psychos, like having Orochi on her body, or is it gonna be like Orochi forming up, controlling Psychos' body, like with Orochi dragons and shit like that? What are you guys thinking? Like if Orochi and Psychos suit up together?
So your suit up scenario is Psychos wearing Orochi like Buffalo Bill wears people's skin.
No. I'm saying like however you read that sequence, like Giro's intentions, what she said, like let me actually like read it verbatim so like the viewers can have it fresh in their memory. But like with that quote, how were you seeing that context, like the unification of them two? How do you see it?
Well, she
Pope-
specifies energy eventually, so I don't know if she's going to try and extract the energy out of him or not.
Yeah, she says, if we use the tremendous energy contained in your body to amplify my psychokinesis, and then we can surely win against that woman.
I mean, design-wise, it could be similar to like Orochi's final form, just with more of a feminine look.
That's one of the two options that I'm thinking of.
Monster
I mean-
Empress?
Also, I guess the third option is they don't actually combine and Tatsumaki stops them before they can.
Possible. If she eventually sees what the hell's going on. Like, Psychos is screaming this, so surely she can hear it. But maybe she can't over all of the Orochi beams.
I mean, it caught her off guard, but Tatsumaki's probably not the kind of character. This isn't going to be the move that finishes off Tatsumaki.
Oh, hell no.
No, she got fucked, bro.
No, her sleeves did.
No, bro. The panel where we're talking about where Psychos is making a quote, she's getting fucking blasted, and the panel before that, where like Orochi snuck up on her ass, she's getting fucked. Choose the adjective. It's happening to her. How strong do y'all think it is? Is Orochi and like Psycho suiting up going to be like as strong as Tatsumaki? Stronger? Like,
Well, in theory, if they are fusing together somehow, and she is like using his energy rather than together, yeah, that would probably be strong enough to damage Tatsumaki. Because of just if Orochi by himself in this incomplete form firing off mad lasers, just that has already done the most damage that Tatsumaki has ever had. So like fuse that with Psychos with what a completed form of Orochi could be at this point, then yeah. Probably stronger or just as strong as Tatsumaki.
It's going to be a very competitive fight regardless.
Like it might be, I don't know, like Psychos like sitting in Orochi like Moria in Oars or something. But it just seems like she's probably going to be firing stronger lasers from her eyes or something, maybe. Or she somehow controls Orochi's dragons and makes them
Shoot
fire.
eye lasers? So
I
now
don't
they're
know.
shooting out stuff out of their mouths in their
Or
eye.
I don't know, or she makes them fire off a more powerful beam. I don't know. I think there's going to be more beam work.
Most likely, yeah.
all right, then let's look at the other option then. So rereading the sequence again. So she's on her like she's getting like flipped around and tortured and contorted and like like massaged and all like erotic and shit. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
she was
saying.
massaging
That
her.
took a quick turn. I'm going to be honest, Grimm. Tortured and erotic.
she was looking real nice right there. But she's looking down. Then he comes up. Then like, okay, when I say this could be like, I don't think there's really a way to prove this wrong. This is why I don't want to use it because it's inconclusive. But like, do you think that he was just aiming at both of them and that she just got away? The panel where like right before she goes for the second blast, or he goes for the second blast, she flies down. Is there really?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes back to when he's like observing them first, and he's like, Tatsumaki, Psychos, give me your blood. So like, does it mean he just doesn't care anymore? I mean, I guess
he's
we'll
not.
find out in the next chapter. But for now, I would say that it's not clear.
He might not be actively being mind controlled by her.
But I mean, he is shooting Tatsumaki the second time. It's not like he's like focusing his beams on both of them.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, So there's 3 panels of explosions, right? Or 4, I guess. I'm talking about the one after where she gets hit. She's like, "Gah!" Tatsumaki gets hit, and we see her clothes all tattered up. The panel like immediately after that is Psycho's like laughing and shit upside down, where her titties like being held in place with her psychokinetic capabilities and shit. And the next one is Orochi throwing his blast and shit. And he's flying, and then she starts flying down. Like, the next picture that we see of the actual explosion is her beaming away from it. And I can agree that, like, yeah, the blast was focusing on Tatsumaki, but, like, they were fired when she was in the vicinity. So my question is, did she just get away from the blast? Because Tatsumaki couldn't. She just got hit.
Not clear. I'm saying it's both. He could be obedient or he could not.
What if he just takes over her shit? Like,
Well, I'm sure that's going to happen. Like, we'll have a bit of a, Psycho's in control, bit of a fight, and then over time he'll be slowly expanding and leaching into her brain. And then it's like, hello, I'm home. I'm whole again. And then she'll be like, oh shit. And it's like, it wasn't supposed to be like this. And then it's like, I am Orochi.
yeah, I never got a sense that, like, that he was afraid of her. It was more like it was almost more like they were partners, and like he was allowing her to do most of the work. Literally, and she was actually paying him respects and shit, calling him Lord Orochi and shit. Like, to me, that relationship was more as like Orochi's the one in charge, and he's allowing her to delegate like a lot of these responsibilities, to coordinate these things, because he either doesn't have the interest or like doesn't really care to do it. But
he's a powerful figurehead.
Yeah, but he mentioned that like he's definitely in like engrossed in the actual plan, because he told Giro that like we can just make more monsters. Whenever they were discussing like some of the monsters being destroyed and shit, he's like, oh, I have more monster cells. We can just make more monsters. That's what he's referring to. So he's intelligent. He knows what's going on. That's what, like, I don't want to make it seem like he's like some mindless parasite that's just like betraying betraying Psychos because like he just needs blood. I think it's like, yes, he's desperate to come back. He needs to reform himself. So yes, he probably is doing it out of desperation, but after this, like, just like you're pointing out, he should be able to just take over Psychos' body and then she's done. Like, it seems like Orochi will be the demise of Psychos. If, just like Zhoniin's saying, it's unclear, but that's one prediction that I'm gonna lean towards.
It just seems like the most likely outcome of this. Like, she's just going to be like, yes, I'm in control. You're giving me what I complete this objective. We will do this together. And then after the fight's over or whatever, or partway through the fight, that's when he starts taking over control. It's like, I don't like that you're calling all the shots anymore. I'm taking the wheel.
I guess it's probably like the symbiote in Spider-Man. Like, she'll get a temporary power boost, and then after that, it's yeah. And then, like, I'll ask you guys this because I'm curious. What do you think? Say, like, Orochi takes over. What do you think? Like, say like the fight becomes inclusive, or he gets away, or he beats Tatsumaki somehow. What do you think his goals are going to be next? Because, like I said earlier, I'm just interested because we now have a monster who knows about Saitama and has lived. Like, what's gonna
go after Saitama? It's like, I know of this opponent.
But
I'm stronger than I was before. Let's see if I can win.
But he's also scared of him. Like, that's kind of the main thing too. Like, he recognizes how strong Saitama is, and just your opinions on that.
That's interesting because, like, I don't really expect him to lead this arc, and I'm not so sure how he's gonna do against Tatsumaki because I think this is gonna actually be a showdown. We were talking about in Discord. Several people mentioned that, like, the possibility of Orochi's return, meaning a rematch with Garou. That's a possibility, or a rematch with Saitama. That's a possibility. But the one in front of him right now is Tatsumaki, and this is the strongest obstacle in the entire arc. And for months now, we've been talking about how the only opponent that could probably contest against Tatsumaki is Orochi, and vice versa as well. That Orochi can only be matched by either Saitama or fucking Tatsumaki right now. So I don't know, man. I think this is gonna be a fucking badass fight. I think they have to unite. I think that for sure he's gonna keep the body, whether he lives or dies. If he lives after this fight, he'll keep the body, and then I don't see it in him like running away and shit. Like I don't see him beating Tatsumaki or like incapacitating Tatsumaki. Then Saitama rolls up out of nowhere and him running away. Like I don't see that, or attempting to run away. I don't see that. I see him like going head on with Saitama, like, well, let me get that rematch. I'm gonna show you like that I'm not afraid or some shit like that. Because he was honorable. Like I don't disrespect Orochi. I have no reason to dislike him. He's been chill the entire time. Like whenever some crazy shit happened, he approached it like other great characters in other series. They don't do that. They just sit there and get approached. Like a fucking their strongest commander will get destroyed and they'll sit there on their throne like, oh, you beat my strongest nigga, huh? You're finally here. Like, no, bro. Like the moment you hear like or you sense a strong force coming, you should be there. Like with all due respect, if you look at Bleach reference, like one of the really good shonen, like the moment that Yhwach appeared in Soul Society, or that like the Quincy were like appearing in Soul Society, Yamamoto should have like been down Yhwach's throat in like no time. It should have been no time period to let the rest of the niggas show up. Nah, it should have been like, oh, this is the biggest threat that I know of. Let me pull out my thing and do that thing to him. Like that's what should have happened. And Orochi pulled that same instance. Like, oh, somebody's fucking with that nigga Rover? Hell nah. And he came through to handle business. And unfortunately, Kate Baldy was there. Fuck, man.
Yeah, Orochi has been pretty chill.
But yeah, I say like, to answer Matt's question, he'll probably try and get coffee and not tell anybody or some shit.
Yeah, he does do that all the time.
Coffee? Did I hear that?
Excuse me, a bit of tea.
Oh, it was just like
I get it. That makes sense. I didn't get it when you said coffee, but very clever.
I don't have a clue anymore. I just can't wait for the next chapter. When it goes into some of this crap.
Let's talk about Saitama and Flashy Flash.
And also, you got to pay respects to Minecart Coon. He's gone now.
What did you call him?
Minecart Coon.
That's Minecart Senpai Kishin.
What's that? What's that second word?
K-U-N. It's Japanese. You know what it is, goddammit.
There is a slight emphasis on the U.
Just making sure.
People were also talking about like the explosion sizes. Orochi's like fucked up, bro. Like he's all like splattered out everywhere amongst these like different pieces, and he still managed to do this much destruction to Tatsumaki. Like, is Orochi in this state really weaker? Like, could it even be said that he's stronger right now because like he's difficult to hit, or like is he by de facto weaker?
I mean, I guess he's weaker. He's not complete, so I think that's probably a good indication. But he's still friggin' powerful as hell.
Yeah, I mean, like he was bigger before. That didn't make him necessarily easy to hit. We saw with Garou, like he could, like for the first half of that fight, Garou could barely touch him.
Yeah, he even dodged Saitama too. Yeah, but like I'm just saying, like if you look at the pictures here, like that first explosion that snuck up behind Tatsumaki, like that shit was huge, bro. It was like those supernovas and shit that he draw in space or whatever. Like when a star explodes or some shit like that, he drew it like that. I'm not saying it was that strong, but damn, man, he's blasting her like that, and she got hurt by it. Like Tatsumaki got hurt. Like why? Is that not a big deal to y'all niggas? Like Tatsumaki got hurt.
It's a very big deal.
Yeah, it's a good hype thing, definitely.
But is it over? Like, is that... We can't say this is not the best fight then. Or like, if we're going to piece all this shit together, like, Psychos and Garou and Orochi and shit, like, the entire thing, like, all of them been fighting. Like, come on, bro. That's just godly so far, bro.
Oh, don't get me wrong. If this actually pulls off and they combine and go all out against Tatsumaki, this has like so much potential to be a top 5 fight in One Punch Man. We've just got to see what happens. If the fusion's there, then I think it's certainly there. But I need to see it first before I can believe it.
I have a good feeling that we're probably going to see that fight. But
hope so.
like Saitama and Flashy Flash worry me because like
Oh yeah,
I don't
think
know,
you
is
said that in your
one the
review.
type of dude who would just have Saitama one punch Orochi twice? That would be a little weird.
Bro,
Thought you were dead. It's like boom.
I may sound
So I just
blasphemous.
hope that Saitama goes somewhere so that at least at the minimum Tatsumaki can fight him. But I'd also like to see Flashy Flash jump in there.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. But I've got a question. Is King near them? Is like
Kind
King
of.
relatively near him, do we know? Because what do you think the chances are once the fight's all done, when Saitama and Flashy arrive, it's just I said this when it first happened, and I feel like it's got another chance. Is just the corpse of like this Orochi monster's there, and King's just standing in front of it, and they're all just like, "Oh, King beat him."
I'd love that.
Bro, I already told you King beat Orochi, dog. I already told you that shit. 100% that's gonna be the case.
I mean, we haven't even talked about King this chapter.
Actually, with Tario in the mix, he would be a source and a witness. So, like, would as long as he's staying with King, would King actually get credit? Because he's like, no, Mr. King protected me, but like, he didn't defeat the monster. Or are they just gonna brush on? Oh, kid,
Hell
just shut
no.
up.
Does
King,
that sound like something that a character in the series would say?
No,
I'm
but
just
that
saying.
that is interesting though. Like whether Tario will see the truth of King or whether he'll be
Fuck.
no. Fuck that.
Absolutely,
Fuck no.
he's gonna close his eyes, scared, and that's all gonna go down.
Oh, and then all the parts are gonna. He'll hear the thumping, and he'll open his eyes and be like, "You protected me, Mr. King." And he's like, I was here."
King could just like start eating his own shit, and Tario would think it's awesome.
Oh, you're on that new diet, I hear. The recycle
This is
diet.
that new diet.
Yeah, it makes the King engine go faster.
Oh shit! Nah, niggas was talking about how Tario tanked the King engine too in the chapter. Tario's a fucking beast, bro. He take the King engine. He dodges
All
Atomic
right.
Slash.
So I was gonna say
Yeah,
we have
oh.
2 feats for him now. He has good speed, good durability. We just need to see his strength.
Mm-hmm. A few more, bro. That nigga be a true dragon, bro. What?
He'll take on everything that Garou has ever done. No, dude.
All right. Speaking of King, there's a little Orochi blob next to King. Is that going to be handled the exact same way as like, or is it just like a throwaway plot? I didn't really take it that serious.
I mean, it depends, because if they're actually going up, it's basically a piece of Orochi, like this Orochi virus thing going on, going up above, and who's up there at the moment? Because Genos is down now, isn't he?
He was he underground the last time we saw him?
I'm not sure, but like, do you really like? That's why I was asking earlier. Do you think that like he's taking their abilities or gaining their strength when he like absorbs them? Because like, what does it really matter? Like, do we really think that like King or our main character down here is gonna get swallowed up by this Orochi goo? I don't think so at all.
I think if they had actually stayed in that area any longer, they might have been made aware of it. But other than that, I think they're okay for the time being.
Well, I don't think King will, because as we've seen in the chapter as well, like this Orochi's like sensing energy, so that's why he gravitated towards like Psychos and Tatsumaki, because there's such a massive amount of energy. Whereas like with King and Taro, the energy might be so little there. Like he's like, oh, okay, this is nothing. Like he might be barely anything. It might not be worth his time to absorb them.
It is funny though how like Girl didn't plan for King. Like maybe she didn't have a piece to plan for King. maybe Orochi himself was the piece for King. I don't know. Because she was the one that was paying most attention to Tatsumaki. And and she knew that King was coming down here because she knew everybody else coming down here. So, like, low key. Well, I mean, because King came with the new Fubuki group, and they came underground. And I don't think Psycho's divulged the plan for Bang either. So yeah, maybe she doesn't know that King's down here.
I mean, surely she has, like, you remember, like, the little camera eyes. Surely they're elsewhere, not just where the mining operations are going on.
Maybe. Let's talk about my trash.
Now,
And the slander begins.
where is Satsuki when you need him?
I know. The one podcast for him to miss.
So, we talked about a snitch, but this one's a bitch.
It's true because it rhymes.
That always makes it more true.
So my stock for Amaya has dropped even further. What are you guys thinking about him asking to switch?
I think it's fair. Go
Are
ahead,
him
man.
and Tatsumaki like the actual worst two heroes? Because the moment like he's like, oh no, I couldn't save them. I tried, but it didn't work. And she's like, well, you should have come down here because you're not doing your job right. And then the moment he you should have helped them. And then the moment he asks for help, she goes, nah, you're not getting help. It's fine.
I mean, they said that like 2 or 3 times in the beginning, like, you're really not gonna get help. So like, don't even like use that transponder to call for help, man.
I just loved it when he goes out to everyone. He's like, listen, she's not helping me. Can someone else just pick up?
Yo, my man, like, shit, bro. What do you?
It's just bad matchup. I mean, like, at least he's trying to figure a way out of it. He's like, look, I'll switch with somebody else. Look, this guy's he's just a standard, powerful dude. He doesn't have like special abilities as far as we know. I just can't fight him because he's ugly. So like, Atomic Samurai, you fight. If you're ugly, you're probably way better equipped to take him on. And I take on Black Sperm. Because I don't have to rely on a sword.
Yo, y'all heard that pause where I could take on Black Sperm. He knew what he was saying.
No, the thing is that my brain is all fucked up now because like when I talk about Black Sperm on my channel, I say Black S, and I try to have like that muscle memory to it. So like when I was about to say it, like I had that conflicting neural pathway going on, right? I was like, do I say Black S? Do I say Black Sperm? Which one's okay?
Wait, what is the invis? I forget.
Black Spermatozoon. Don't even question that.
His true name. The name that we should all call him.
I'm never saying that.
I'm only
up every time. I'd name him Black Zoo just out of spite.
That's his birth name, okay? You don't like he doesn't have a nickname or anything. That's fine.
And you got a little bit of spermatozoon on your chin.
I do.
Thank you.
I do kind of like how this is. And I was kind of tipped off to check on chapter 93 when we had the S-class meeting right before this operation. Tatsumaki and My Mask were not doing so well back then. It openly admits her hate for him, so this is just like another showing of it.
I mean,
Like,
to be fair, he wasn't doing well with anyone.
well, I know
like
she
in that
even
meeting.
says it's like we all hate you. That's why we didn't call you.
I mean, he tried to start on Flashy.
He was kind of doing that on everybody. If it had gone on any longer, it probably would have been like, you fat fuck, pig god. It's like, lose some weight.
Pig God would go, don't mess with me. I could eat Elder Centipede.
And I'll still keep my 6-pack abs. You can't do that.
Oh shit,
Here's a question though. Like, what was my mask thinking? Like, if Tatsumaki went, all right, yeah, let's switch. Like, what would he do against Psychos? Like, at all?
Good question.
Yo, he about to. That
He
of my hype.
probably try. Do what?
That of my hype that people are always sucking on.
Oh, he's like, hey, you know I'm a world-renowned pop idol, right? I'm sexy. You like that? You're sexy. We belong together. Well, let's not fight. And it's like, we don't get cable down here. And then just like blasts his ass.
I mean, if we shipping, like, nah, I can't let a my hit fucking nah. I can't.
No, I'm not saying that. It's like that's what he would want, just to try and like divert.
I know you want to hit Psychos, but he can't. Fuck that nigga, bro. Hell no. It's too many niggas in line with bigger meats, more merit that deserve to be in them Psycho cheeks, bro. Like, King is the only one that's hitting Tatsumaki. Go ahead.
You know for sure that there's people with bigger meat than my mask,
bro.
Where are you getting this?
Gisper.
Yeah, Gearsper, he's just hung.
Yo, he shouted it out too, bro. Don't try to look at me being gay. This nigga shouted out her name. Who else got a big dick, man?
Well, we'll say when you get 2,000 subs, we'll do that too.
Wait, did you say if you get 2,000 subs, you'll make who has the biggest penis video?
Oh no.
You already
Is that
know.
what you said?
Yeah, that's what he said. All right, bro. You already know, subscribers. Go ahead. Tell your niggas, tell your mama's niggas, tell your niggas' mamas to subscribe. We get to 2K. Matt's gonna make. Who's got a big dick 2020?
They're all gonna have the same level because it's all about it's all about who sees it. That's fine. Mate, Sundown and Satsuki are going to be like, what the hell happened to this podcast?
Yeah, we go off on tangents this one, but they're fun tangents.
Oh shit. Nah, but no, yeah, King smashing on Tatsu. Dark Shine on Mizuki. Nobody deserves her booty. Nobody.
Saitama.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
She would jump on him in a second.
It'd be awkward, bro, to see like a panel of like fucking them walking fucking to Saitama's apartment and shit. Or Gino's walking to Saitama's apartment and then in the hallway outside, you see Fubuki on her knees sucking off Saitama's. It'd be weird, bro. It'd be weird, bro.
Screw that. He would be feeling the vibrations from halfway down the street. Be like, is there an earthquake? Is there a monster attack? Oh, wait, Sensei's having sex. Okay, I know these vibrations.
So he's just like destroying her? Like she's
just
dead?
Enough. Like there's it's just a wave. And it's like she's able, heck, she can withstand Rover's blast. So it's like, you know that by the time that...
That's how strong Saitama's stroke game is?
That it's like that by the time that would happen, the sex scene, that she would be even stronger. So then the possibility is even greater.
Make a video about it.
No.
Oh, you can't put that
I
up.
want to eventually get monetized someday.
Yeah, it's gotta be a porno. Oh shit. No, but aside from Saitama clapping them for booty cheeks, the last thing we'll talk about is something that I found weird. But so we always talking about like how like Garou is pointing out the hypocrisy of the Hero Association, how like they're just after their own needs and their own goals and shit. And then I thought, okay, so if we're already comparing the Monster Association to Hero Association, does the Hero Association have some dirt? So, just from what we know so far, Flashy Flash, Amai, and Saitama are confirmed to like go about doing killings that are unnoticed or unreported. Saitama kills things all the time that either credit goes to somebody else or they just don't know about it. Amai literally killed this group of people and hid the true reason for it. And as we know, Flashy Flash has been assassinating. As we know, Flashy Flash has been assassinating people behind the association's back and not reporting it for a long time now. So like, how many more things happen that are not reported? Do you guys think that there are more characters out there that are like secretive, that like have some shit going on? Like, what are some that come to mind if you were to think of like the secrecy or like the things that don't go reported in the Hero Association?
Well, first of all, Drive Knight, because he's the fucking leader of the organization. So that's a whole big thing right there.
Number one, yeah.
Metal Knight, he's probably doing some sus stuff. But it's mainly like the Hero Association themselves that are corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
The executives, you mean?
Yeah.
Are we just saying that because like they have a lot of money and shit, or like because
money corrupts?
I
Absolutely.
mean, I guess, but there's proof of them just like doing stuff in any case.
Well, you're talking about like buying some hookers and some liquor and shit, and like, you know, like, I love you, baby, you want a purse type shit. Like,
No, I'm talking about trying to blackmail the police so they can do whatever they want.
It's like, we are the police now. Step away, sir.
And also, I mean, there's so many cases just like those three, or those two. And then in the bonus chapter, I forget what it's called, but like Saitama's randomly drafted to go after this monster with like this random team of like B-class heroes. And it turns out at the end of it that the monster was like illegally held captive by the Hero Association.
That armadillo monster. I know.
Yeah. So they were having like some kind of like illegal monster trade, black market stuff going on.
what the fuck?
Yeah, and then even in like the main ones, I mean, it's like when that chapter of that one guy who's hanging out with the girls and using like Hero Association funds to, you know, spend time with them until Garou knocks him out. And was there anything else? Not really. I mean, there's like other small stuff. So like the chapter where like I guess it's not really as big as like anything else they've done, but you know, using heroes for personal goals, like, oh, Saitama, go find this cat that my daughter lost. You know.
Exactly. Even the small stuff, they're abusing their power.
All right. So I guess there are some stains in the Hero Association, but overall, it doesn't seem like it's anything like pivotally corrupt. Like they're not trying to fucking like control all of a country or some shit like that.
Maybe we don't know yet.
No, they're kind of like FIFA, if I had to compare them to anyone.
That's what it seems like, yeah. International Federation. FIFA's corrupt as fuck though, like incomprehensibly corrupt. Like them, like scandals at the fucking ass.
It'd probably be similar if the Hero Association shit was uncovered.
The biggest like thing is that one executive that like got shot in the head. Like he actually directly showed like nefarious intentions, but it was like for a good cause. So I don't know, man. But yeah, I wanted to bring that up because there's a lot more things that are hidden from the truth or from the light. And I'm wondering what other heroes are gonna have shit like that. Like, it's fucking. Let me not go there. Oh shit, we gotta stop doing that, bro.
I mean, not going there, but Zombie Man are probably another one, just off the top of my head.
Oh yeah, if they were to find out the truth about him, that would probably cause some problems.
What do you mean the truth?
How he's a product of Dr. Genus.
Yeah. And to bring it back to chapter 93, it's actually a my mask that was like, you're actually a monster, aren't you? Because, like, well, how do you regenerate again? You know? And it's like, which then that could be, you know, even set up for eventually Zombie Man being ousted. As you're saying, like, would they even want to keep him around knowing his origins. Or it's hinting at that my mask is, pure, straight up evil and becoming a monster over time, as we've predicted before.
We talked about Psychos' laser beams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bigger than Rover's?
Why is everything compared to Rover?
It's because he's the prominent one.
I mean, like...
Could Atomic Samurai deflect it?
Low-key, bro.
Well, actually, considering that it's psychic energy that's telekinetic in nature, wouldn't she just bend it out of the way of his blade?
No, this is energy. This is not like fucking like... No, it's like an energy beam she's releasing. And I was saying, like, look at the balls in the picture where Tatsumaki is deflecting the beam. The balls that are flying off of it, they somewhat resemble the sparks and the like little glades that were coming off of the bolt that Orochi released whenever he attacks Saitama, and Atomic Samurai managed to cut it. That plasma shit, it looks similar. So like, I don't know, but like either way, I'm just comparing it. Like for example, like Homeless, right? This looks like the beams that Homeless was throwing out, because Homeless was letting those things off, bruh. But yeah, she's pretty fucking considerable, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, another character we lost this chapter. Nian's girlfriend. One of the monsters that got devoured by Orochi.
Yeah, there's already like 3
I saw fan art.
Yeah.
It's like ridiculous. It's always fun to like see which background characters get love from the fan.
Hey, but the snail barely survived. I'll take that.
It became a helix fossil.
So Resurrected Orochi says, what punishment should be given to all the Orochi deniers?
A fair trial, because I feel like there was a fair point that why Orochi would have died. Considering the series is called One Punch Man, and he got beaten by the One Punch Man.
I mean, I had my doubts that he would, come back like early on, but I definitely turned around, obviously.
Okay, Gambindo, how do you think this arc's going to end? With the sickest fight in history, Tario versus Wagomba. We're going to get it. It's going to be great. And like, there's going to be moments where he's like been watching Garou for so long, like Wagomba's going to be kicking the shit out of Tario. It's going to be dark, and all of a sudden you're just going to see that, and then Waterflow Rock Crushing Fist's going to kick in, and he's going to.
It's like, you may be rich, but I have value.
But a personal note, I think it'd be awesome if at the very end of this, like, he goes and joins as bank student of the Waterflow Rock Crushing Fist. Because generally because of his love, like how much he's learned to respect Garou. He's like, I want to be like him. He's my hero. And then Jenny Bang gets another student.
That'd be godly, man.
A student that might actually work out.
A Sharenko, a Tario bit. Fucking with it.
I like that. That's becoming headcanon now.
Alright, last one.
Mine is from Ningen117. What do you think about Baby Orochi? Is he cute?
He's the new Baby Yoda.
I know. What is up with all the baby shit lately? There's baby reboots of like Mr. Peanut, which was total garbage that they killed him off just to immediately reincarnate his ass. And then there's Baby Yoda, which is everywhere. And then, let's see, what's some of the other ones? Oh, there was Baby Sonic, too, from the movie. It's ridiculous. I wouldn't say cute.
Grimm, your opinion on Baby Orochi?
Y'all niggas gay.
Yo ho ho.
Oh shit. Like the video, guys, subscribe, check out everybody's content for the chapter, reviews, live reactions, all kinds of shit, and we'll see y'all boys next time. Yo!